Welcome back to Real Hardcore Minecraft, where we use no totems, no sleeping, no auto farms, and everything must be built aesthetically. Now, previously we worked on not only a bridge, but we also worked on a massive peninsula here, creating this beautiful little lighthouse sticking out, as you can see right in the middle of the water there. Now, I want to continue on this area, and I have an awesome idea for a nice little fishing dock over here, which will extend slightly out to about the middle over here, with a humongous little fishing house over here, with a nice little area along the front of the water here. However, I want this build to be a little bit different from everything else I've ever built, ever in Minecraft. So I'm going to be using some blocks I've never actually built with. And I guess because I've never built with them, I don't have any of them. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and get those blocks. Now, those blocks are going to be cherry wood and copper, and of course granite. But we've already got that, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I've never built with cherry wood, and I've never ever used copper in any of my builds. So this is going to be very new to me, and I'm hoping it's going to turn out amazing. Now, I have been experimenting a little bit in creative to try and get some ideas of how I can implement these blocks into the build, and I think I've got a good idea. So the first thing we need to do is head over to a cherry blossom biome, which thankfully for us isn't too far away, just on the other side of this jungle thing over here. So let's head over there and grab ourselves some cherry logs. While I'm here, I also want to grab up some of these petals because I think they'd be awesome to add in as just some extra details. Just another tool for us to use to detail the areas. Now, I'm not sure if you can bone meal these, so I'm just probably going to get a couple stacks of them just to be safe. Thankfully, if we do need more, we can easily come back, but I'm sure you could bone meal these. There we go. Now we have 5 stacks of these pink petals. I also want to grab a huge amount of these cornflowers because it's hard to get your hands on blue flowers, and there is an absolute ton of them over here. So I'm going to grab as many as I can just to make sure we've got that little bit of blue that we can easily add into our gardens, and just whenever detailing, it's really going to add a little bit of vibrance and color to the areas. So I'll probably get a couple stacks of these bad boys just because of how many there are over here. There's so many, and I actually had no idea that there was so many over here. So this is just a little bit of extra stuff we can get. Is there bees in here? If I silk touch this, will I get bees in there? There doesn't seem to be bees anywhere nearby, so I'm hoping that they're inside of this bee nest, and when I place it down, they'll spawn. I don't know, I've never collected bees before, but that is something that we do need, so this could be helpful. Fingers crossed. Alright, we've got a bunch of cornflowers now, just over 6 stacks, which I think is going to be plenty for a long time. Now, finally, it's time to grab up a bunch of these cherry logs. So, let me just go to town on, I guess, this relatively small kind of area here. I might chop all of them, because, you know, it's a very small biome anyway, but we're going to get the saplings from them. So if we do need, we can always just grow more. And these trees drop so many saplings too, so there's going to be no issues at all. So let me go ahead and do that right now. We've got ourselves another beehive, and I just watched the bee go in there. So if I delete this, fingers crossed, the bee will stay in there. It didn't pop out, so I'm going to assume it will. But now this fella doesn't even have a hive, so that kind of sucks for him. But I've erased a lot of this forest, but there's still quite a few more trees to go, so I'm just going to keep chopping, at least until I have a full inventory, because we're getting pretty close. And there we go, we have a full inventory, so let's head back to the base and get all this stuff settled so we can start getting the rest of the stuff we need. So I'm going to grab a shulker, but we don't have any. They're all somewhere else. There's one in here, filled with a couple things. So I guess I'll quickly empty this one just so we can at least get that stuff stored. And I'll chuck all the cherry logs, the pink petals. I'll keep the cherry saplings here. We don't need them. And I'll also put the cornflowers in here. So that will be good. And the cherry saplings can go in there for now. But we need to address our shulker issue. The last time I went hunting for shulker boxes was a few hundred days ago. It's been a long time. So I think it's time we head back and score ourselves some more shulker boxes because of how much we've been using them, which works kind of well because the other thing we need to do is collect a bunch of copper, and right near our end portal is a trials chamber filled to the brim of copper. So I'm going to go grab a bunch of copper from the trials chamber, and then we'll head to the end and borrow some shulker shells from the shulkers. So I guess I'll just start collecting these blocks. I'm assuming, wait, hold on. This is already waxed. So does that mean I don't even need honey? That could be so goated because I have no idea what I'm doing with honey. Oh my days. But the thing is, can I turn these into trapdoors? We've got 1 oak log, so we might as well make up our 27,000th crafting table, and look at that. We can create some waxed copper grates, but it doesn't look like we can create any trapdoors. Okay, hold on. You apparently need copper ingots to make the trapdoors. There we go. So I'm assuming I do need to wax those though, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to collect a bunch of the copper anyway, and I'll see you guys in a second. I'm also going to grab a bunch of these decorated pots because they could be very helpful for, decorating. So, also these bookshelves. Yes, please. We need these for another item that we need to get. There's so many things that we're able to get so easily because of this whole area. This is so good. So let me just collect a bunch of stuff from this area and we'll see what we can come up with once we're full. All right, we got a bunch of stuff. I found a couple diamonds. We got a bunch of bookshelves, some waxed copper stuff, and a bunch of random other stuff we don't really need, but it should be good. Okay, so now we'll head into the end. Now I'm going to make sure I equip my elytra. We've almost had a few close calls where I've almost jumped off without it on. And we're going to just fly out to these end cities or these outer end islands, find a bunch of shulkers, and I guess I'll probably try and get at least half a stack of shulker shells. But these guys are so annoying to try and kill. So I might get annoyed and leave with less, but I do want to get at least a few more. So we'll see how this goes. With Distant Horizons, it's so weird to see just so many outer end islands. Considering most of the time I've played this game, there was only that one end island in the middle. These outer things never really existed, so it's really cool to see. It's definitely an improvement on the end for sure, but I think more needs to be done. Come on, Mojang. Anyway, let's find some of these cheeky buggers and hope they don't cause us too much grief, and I guess enjoy the montage. All right, I have 24, and for me, that is going to be enough because I am getting absolutely over killing them cheeky buggers. They are for sure the worst thing to farm without a farm. So, yeah. I'm going to do with 24 for now, which gives us another 12 shulker boxes, which should be plenty. I'm not going to complain at all. So let's head back to our base and start planning how we want this area to start looking. So let's craft up a bunch of shulker boxes, 12 to be exact, and chuck these bad boys over here where they belong. Look at that. Look how many shulker boxes we have. I'm going to keep 3 on us for now, just in case, because I like to have that little bit of extra storage when I'm building. And let's go ahead and grab up this shulker box of all of these beautiful things, and we'll take them over to the site that we're about to start building and start planning how we want this thing to look. This place looks so much better with this little peninsula over here. I love it. So for the trim, instead of using stripped spruce logs like I always do, there's literally not a single build here which doesn't have them in it. I'm going to go ahead and use some regular oak logs. Now for where this is going to be, I know I want this to be on the part that sticks out the most, which is of course that one right there. So I should head out 1 block and kind of create some form of pillar here, just like this, and we'll go out 3, so it's going to be 3 wide, and we'll create another one. So that's going to be where it starts. Now in terms of the ocean floor, it doesn't line up, so I do need to fix that as well, but at least we're going to know exactly where this is going to start. Let's place everything in here for now, everything we don't really need. Okay, so I think the best course of action is to fix up the sand that should be right at the top level here. So let me grab up whatever sand I've got over here. Oh, we got plenty. We have so much. So I'll grab up that much. And what other blocks do we have here? Do I have any stone? Oh, I've got a bunch of cobblestone here. Perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go under and take off my elytra first of all. And I want these kind of levels of sand to be 2 to 3 blocks wide. I want it to be pretty quick of a descent. Unlike what we did with the beach previously, way over there, this one's going to go down very quick. So I'm thinking something about this wide. I think that'll look pretty nice. Just like that. And I'm going to go up to pretty much here where I'm pretty sure the map ends, because if you guys have seen previously, the goal for the first 1000 days is to fill up the entire map room, which if I quickly show you, if you haven't seen it yet, you're about to see the map for the first time. So this is the 400-day map, and as you can see, it is quite large. It's 5 maps wide by 5 maps. I want this entire thing to be filled in with custom builds and custom terrain before day 1000. And obviously the cutoff is pretty much right where we're building here. So I only want it to go up to here so we don't waste any time building on the area just like we did with the village. That isn't going to make an impact on the first 1000 days, or at least the goal. Now this was day 100, so you can see a massive difference between what we had on day 100 versus what we have now on day 400. Well, day 414 to be exact. So the map pretty much ends right here, just where this starts, because you can kind of see it in the map, but it cuts off very quickly. So I'm pretty much just going to go in line here, exactly where this torch is. That should give us all the way up to the edge of the map, or maybe a little bit of overlap as well. I'll go to there. That should be perfect. And then, of course, I'll go all the way up to the peninsula and build it down to the seafloor. So enjoy the time lapse. So now the beach is done, we can finally start planning and preparing how we want this whole area to look. And guys, I'm so excited to see how this place transforms. Already just adding this sand in here makes a huge difference. Obviously this line here is a bit weird having it just randomly cut off, but it will look so much better once we get the pier in. So first things first, I want to go ahead and expand this thing out. So we're going to have a 3-block gap and then another pillar. I'll make sure to extend it beyond the sand. We don't want it sitting there awkwardly. So we're going to have to make sure we fix that right away. So instead of having it placed like that, you don't want to be able to see the sand underneath. You want to just replace that so it reaches all the way underneath. Otherwise it just looks a little strange. So I'm going to go out maybe another 2. 1 more. And we'll have a look at how that looks. Maybe we need to go a little bit further. Okay, yeah, I think 1 more should be pretty spot on. So just about here. Oh, and we had the perfect amount of logs too. Look at that. So let's see if I can parkour all the way across. Oh yeah, too easy. Now, in the middle, I'm going to fill that up with some spruce slabs. I think that's going to contrast very nicely with the oak logs. So let me go up and see if I've got any of these chests here. This area over here has become like a little storage room, I guess. Even though it wasn't meant to be. This was supposed to be temporary, but I mean, I guess we're still working a lot in the area, so we can still say it's temporary. There they are. Okay, and I'm going to bring this crafting table with me too, because we're going to do a little bit of crafting down there. And you know, I might as well take these shulkers with me too, because I'm probably going to be doing a lot of back and forth anyway. And guys, for this build, I'm not lying, I'm going to go 150,000% more than usual. I'm going to try and make this thing look incredible. I've been doing a lot of practicing, you know, in creative, just trying to practice my building skills, and I think I've got something cool to show you guys. I'm going to use some of the skills I've learned in this build, and hopefully it looks good. I need your guys' opinion. Anywho, let's place down these shulker boxes just for that extra storage, as well as this crafting table and our blue one with all of our goodies in it. So I'm going to go ahead and craft up a bunch of these spruce slabs. Oh no. I feel like I should probably have a bed down here. The only reason we have a bed is so our respawn point is in our base when we come back from the end, and also so we can have a tiny nap very quickly. We don't skip the night, but if we lay in bed for a second, it gets rid of the insomnia, so we don't have to fight those pesky phantoms. That's really the only reason to have a bed, because we don't skip any nights in this one. But the question is, do I have any wool up here? Surely I should. There's no way I don't. Where's my wool chest? Here it is. Oh yeah, we got plenty. So I'm just going to craft up a bed, because I'm pretty sure this one's going to be a little bit of a longer build. So we're probably going to have to need to sleep again. So I'll just bring a spare bed with me, and I'm going to leave this one in our shulker box, just so in the future when we do need to skip these phantoms, I don't have to keep coming back to our bedroom because it's so far away. This build is getting so big, it's insane. So boom, boom, done. Now, I'm not sure if I remove the bed, if our spawn point goes back to where it was before. I really hope it does, because otherwise it's going to be very annoying. Now, I don't think it should be there. I think it should be one higher, maybe here. So I think the best way to do this is to probably raise this up a bit. And there's going to be coarse dirt there anyway. So do I have any in these shulker boxes? No, hold on a second. I will need podzol, so I'll grab that while we're here. Some gravel will do okay. Some more gravel. We'll just turn that into what we need. That should be sweet. I don't need the kelp. Get out of here, man. All the phantom membranes. What's going on? All right, so instead of placing dirt, I'm going to create up some coarse dirt and I guess start placing in the road. So it's only going to be 1 block higher, so it's not too much of an issue. I want some stone here, so I'll dig that and I'll put some stone in here as well, just on both sides. All right, okay, so now let's go ahead and expand this all the way down and increase the height of the logs by 1, just so it's slightly above the floor of the pier. We're going to expand this all the way to the end of the pier. And at the end, I'll create this little kind of triangular thing, just like this. so it comes out a little bit further than the end of the pier. Next up, I'm going to craft up a bunch of spruce stairs and of course some trapdoors. Nope, that's not a trapdoor. Oh my days. Okay, trapdoors. And I'm going to place these stairs like this with a trapdoor in the middle. So it gives you this kind of angle here between the two pillars. And I'm going to do that between all of them on the sides. All right, we're a couple stairs short, so I'll quickly fix that up. And then we've got something just like this. Looking a little bit better. Now, I might as well just craft the rest into trapdoors because we are going to use quite a lot of them through this entire build. And I'm just going to place some spruce trapdoors on the outside of a lot of these oak log pillar thingies, just in line with the kind of level of the pier itself. So then it looks a little something like this. So it gives it a bit more detail or depth on the outside. And we'll make sure to do that on the other side as well. Now, the reason I farmed up some of those bookshelves in the stronghold was to craft up a bunch of lecterns because we're going to need a lot of them. Because this is going to be one of the design features. Oh my days, hold on, get out of here, buddy. One of the design features I'm going to use. I'm also going to need some oak trapdoors, which is another thing we haven't actually used before in this world. So I'm trying to use a bunch of blocks we haven't used. I'm going to place the lecterns like this with a oak trapdoor on top. It looks a little bit funny on the inside, but if you look from the outside, it looks like a kind of nice little fence thing. Now, obviously the inside, you know, we can say it's supposed to look like that, but everyone knows it looks a bit funny. Well, at least I think it looks a bit funny. But from the outside, I think it looks really nice. We're going to need a lot more oak trapdoors, but we had the perfect amount of lecterns. Look at that. That could not have been any more perfect. But for some reason, trapdoors require so many materials. It's a little bit ridiculous, to be honest with you, considering it's literally 1/8 of the size of a log, but you need a log and a half to create 2. Make that make sense, okay? That doesn't make sense. Where's all the rest of the log going? But anyway, this is what we've got now. Now, for the next part, we're going to require a lot of iron, which I completely forgot to get. So fingers crossed, I've got a bunch of the base. We're going to have to go and check. Now, this is all the iron I've got. I've got a stack and a bit of iron ore, almost a stack of raw iron and 2 ingots. So I'm bringing some cobblestone and some blocks of coal. And before we head back, what I'm going to do is go to the hill, the massive mountain range just behind our base over here, which is where we usually get our iron from. And I'm going to try and get another couple stacks. Then we're going to head back, smelt it up while we build, and hopefully we should have enough. As you can see, a lot of the iron has already been taken from over here. So we're going to have to go to the other side where I haven't really done much. Oh, here's a bunch of ores here. So I guess I'll just start going to town on these bad boys. So I got another stack and a half, which should be plenty. Now let's fly all the way back. Man, that is such a huge mountain range. Absolutely enormous. There's no way I'm ever going to be digging that down. There was a suggestion to make it into a volcano, which I think would be really cool. But obviously we got to get over there first. There's a lot of space between our base and that huge mountain range. But let's drop down into over here. We'll craft up a couple furnaces. Oh, I didn't think. I've only got 4 blocks of coal. Oh my goodness. So 4 of these are useless. So let's just get rid of them. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to split the coal, 1 block of coal per furnace. And then I'll evenly distribute the raw iron into them just to get it started, because I need to use my fortune pick to mine up these ores, because we're going to get more raw iron from each ore. And then I'll just keep filling these up until I'm hopefully done. Okay, so we ran out of coal, which is not fantastic. Okay, it's not the best thing that could have happened in this situation, but I do think we might have enough. So I think I'm going to start by making... Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to need a bunch, aren't I? I thought it was 1 iron block, but we need 3 per anvil. So if I make that, we'll get 10. Is this going to be sufficient? Oh, we don't need any creepers blowing up right now. This is not the time, mate. You need to get out of here. Go, swim away. Yeah, that's right. Go, get out of here, mate. So I'm going to place in anvils on top of each of these logs. Oh, no. We're going to be too short. That is unfortunate, okay? But I'm going to figure something out. I'm going to try my best. Now, the situation, we have plenty of iron, or we got coal. Hold on a minute. Let me cook. I'm just going to fortune a bunch of this stuff up, right? And get these bad boys cooking again. I'll just turn them into blocks of coal and I'll fill all these buggers up, and that will be more than enough because we are already out of iron. So let me get 32 in each, then split this up by 4 and chuck the remaining into them. Finally, now we're getting somewhere, ladies and fellas. Okay, anyway, while we're waiting for this to smelt up, the next thing I need to do is grab up a bunch of these spruce fences, which we do not have enough of. So let me get me sticks out and a couple of these fellas over here and just craft up a couple more fences. 34 will be way more than enough. We'll just chuck these on top of the anvils. So the anvils here are not anviling, alright? They're not going to be repairing nothing. Their job is to stand there and look pretty. I just realized I forgot some trapdoors. So do I actually have any left? I do. I don't know why I didn't fill them in. I must have missed them. There we go. That's alright because it's an easy fix. So I'm just going to place in some planks here just temporarily so I can place in the fences. Then I also need to get some lanterns because lanterns are going to go on top of those fences there. So I need one more iron, 10 lanterns. No, we need 12, don't we? Oh my days. I really hope these anvils are worth it because if not, if this doesn't look good, this is a huge waste of iron. I don't think we'll ever use this many anvils in our entire life. In a million days, okay? Let me craft up 2 more lanterns to get those lanterns placed in. So at the very least, we've got some light in here. Now, do we have enough iron smelted up to get the last 2 anvils? Let's find out. Oh, I think we do. Yes, we do. Look at that. Okay, chuck these bad boys in here and let's have a look at how that looks. Oh, yeah. That is looking very nice. Very unique. So now we have to figure out where this house is going to go. And I do want it pretty close to the shoreline. Let's grab our oak logs. So I think about here. This is a nice amount of space. So I have a 5-block gap in between. We're going to have to actually raise this up as well. So let me just place that like that. So there's a 5-block gap in between and it's directly in line with this pier here. So the very front of the building should line up with that pier. Now I am going to quickly flatten this area a little bit because it is going to be 1 block higher, at least where the house is. And I'm going to expand this by 5 blocks on both sides. So 1 right here. So there's a 5-block gap here and a 5-block gap here. There'll also be 1 right here and then going this way as well to create this kind of rectangle. Now from here, I want to go up 4 more blocks. Up to about there, and then connect them together right in the middle, and then do that for all of these little blocks here, so that we have something a little like this. Now for the second level, I want a little balcony here, so I'll section this part off here, and then for these 2 sections, I want this second floor to be enclosed. So we'll go up 5 blocks and connect them right in the middle, just like we did on the first floor. And I'll just do that for the rest of these here. Now, these oak logs in my inventory now is all we have left. So I have a feeling we might need to go and farm up a bunch of trees, but we'll find out. We'll find out very soon. So now we have something like this. It's coming together very nicely. Now, the next thing I need to do is grab some stone bricks and kind of just place them throughout this entire thing here, just along the walls on the first floor, and then stone for the remaining. Now, I'm not going to add any windows in just yet. So we have something just like this. It's looking very strange right now. Believe me, I know, but I promise it's going to look better soon. So the front door will be here, okay? And there's going to be a kind of thing coming out like this. Okay, let's remove these now that they're done. And I guess we'll start setting up a little bit of a camp inside here. And I'll just start moving these things over. Okay, all of our shulker boxes are now in here. So I have a little bit more room to work with. So I know the floor here is going to be stone bricks. So we'll get that in there. We'll create 3 stone brick stairs just here so we can walk up. And then I just used some dirt to create the final log there and fill it in a little bit with some coarse dirt where I know there's going to be a bit of road. And of course, expand this up a little bit. Kind of like this, just so we've got a little bit more room to work with in here. So now we can walk into our building, and I guess the next best thing to do would be to fill this all in, grab up some stairs so it can come back down to the correct level, and fill this in like this. Okay, so we've got something developing in here, and I might as well just change this entire floor into some spruce slabs. And I'm doing all this just so I can put in this little staircase here that goes all the way to the top, just so we can get up there, just like that. Now we have access to up here. Now for this roof, I do want to do something a little bit different. I want to grab in some spruce logs and connect them through like this, with a 1-block gap in between, and then spruce slabs in between. Of course, these will be stripped. I'm going to use some spruce slabs just to connect them together like that. Now I think that's a nice texture on top and gives us a little bit of a different type of style on the roof, which is nice. I'll just expand this roof a little bit further, just as far as we can go, and create like a little pillar here maybe. Just like this, and then one more log there. Okay, this is coming together nicely. I'll fill this roof in here, just with some normal spruce slabs. So now we've got access to this floor and of course the bottom floor, but it still looks very weird. I need to fill in this top floor. So what we're gonna do up here, this is where the cherry logs is going to come in. Now let me craft up 16 into some regular cherry planks, then place in a bunch of random cherry logs into the wall. And then, of course, strip all those cherry logs down so they're a little bit closer to the planks. They have to be the same color. We're going for that pink color, not the purple. Come on, mate. And then for the remaining space, we're just going to use the normal cherry planks, just for that little bit of texture. And for this front part, there's going to be like a little balcony kind of thing. So I'll just kind of fill this in a little bit and leave just a 3-block gap open, just like that. So now, okay, it still looks very strange. Very, very weird. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add sticky outie bits just like this to all the sides where there's 2 levels. I think I'm gonna have like a little storage kind of thing over here, and I know on this front here I want like a little shop sticking out a little bit. Maybe it's where people buy tackle or fish, I guess. So I guess the best thing to do for that is to, once again, just fill this area in just so we have something to build on, and then just create these shapes. So it's going to be 3 by 3 by 3. Just like that, so it fits nicely in here. And of course, it's still going to have these stone bricks as the base, but not at the front. There's going to be like a little bench here. So I'll just build this all the way up to the same height, just like that. So now that gives this building a little bit more shape. Maybe we'll put a door on this side. So once again, we'll build this out a little bit and have like a little entrance in here. So this will be where you sell. There's going to be a table. You obviously can't get in this side, but you'll be able to exit through here. And I guess on this side, we'll just plan out where we want this thingy-majiggy to be. This little shed thing on the side. So I think the same thing, 3 blocks wide would be good. And I'll fill this bit in here with some dirt, and then I'll use some more coarse dirt where there's obviously going to be a path expanding throughout the front. And I'll expand the same thing that we did over there with the stone, just to kind of wall it off a little bit, at least up to there. Okay, there we go. So it's slowly taking shape. Like I said when we built the farming village, the roof is the most important part in my opinion. And if you remember, I said I wanted to use some granite, but we're going to use deep slate and granite. So we'll grab our deep slate from here that we used previously. I guess I'll grab pretty much everything we've got, which is more than I thought we had. Very, very nice. And I'll just start creating the trims for the parts that I know we're going to have like slabs. So I know the tackle shop is going to have a slab roof because I don't want it to be too tall in front of this kind of wall up there. So I'm going to go through the front though. Instead of peeking up to the side, it's going to peek up this way. I'm hoping that's going to look okay because it's a little bit different to what I usually do. So it'll just meet up like that against this kind of pink wall here. Then I'll replace a couple of those with some of the deep slate bricks. Just like that. Now I guess I'll also do the same thing here, just with the deep slate matching up to there. So there'll be a tiny roof above the exit, if that makes sense. I hope that will look okay. It seems to look okay right now. And finally, there's also going to be slabs on this wall here, just where we've created this little shed thing sticking out to the side. So once again, I'll just do the exact same design with the slabs, just building up until it meets up with the top of this wall here. And I'll replace some of them with the bricks. Exactly like that. So now for this front part, we're going to add in a peaked roof like we usually do, but with the stairs because it's like the entrance part. So I feel like it needs to be a little bit more prominent, and using stairs I think is the best way to do that, even though it's very small. It's a very small roof for this, but I think this should work nicely. Exactly like that. And then of course, the slabs meeting up to this kind of thing here. Now I'll expand these up by 1, just like this. I think that should be good. Maybe I'll have a log there. And finally for this main roof here, I'm going to do something similar to what I did over here with this kind of style. I do like that. So to do that, I'm going to grab these polished deep slate stairs and place them in on the corner here, just like this, like a little L shape, and then have it come up by 1 with a polished deep slate tile like that, and then a stair again, just to give it that exact same shape that we had last time. I really like that shape. And then it'll peak up just like that. Now this side will have a little bit of an overhang, and we'll have this just go up in a perfect peak to the middle. Previously we used the deep slate for the main. Now the deep slate's the trim, so I kind of like it. We're still using the same block, but for a different purpose, I guess. I will just do the exact same thing on the other side as well. And finally connect them together using the slabs to all 3 of the peaks that we've created. So this one included, just like this. And now if we look at that, now we have a better idea of this. This is actually coming together pretty nicely. You can see the roof does make a huge difference. Absolutely insane. So we have used anvils, we've used lecterns, oak trapdoors, we've used cherry logs, but I also said that we were going to use granite, which is another new block that we're going to add. So let me quickly empty my inventory a little bit so I can go and grab some, because we have a ton of it back at our base. And here we are. Beautiful. I just grab up 8 stacks. That should be more than enough. Now, when we built the lighthouse, I remember saying that I thought granite was useless and it didn't really have a purpose, but I guess I'm proving myself wrong. We're finally giving it a bit of a purpose in this world. So for this roof, I'm going to use a mix of polished granite and normal granite. I'll create 2 stacks of polished, both stairs and slabs. I'll do the same for the regular granite. So now I can go ahead and fill in all of our spaces. Let's just go ahead and randomly place this stuff in. Just like this. I think that looks really nice, especially with the cherry logs. I think it's a nice little contrast. Don't forget this bit here and then the side over here. Okay, I've created a little bit too much granite, but that's okay. And now finally we just have to do these 2 stair roofs. I think we're gonna not have enough for the main roof, but that's fine. We can always just create more. So I'll do the small roof first, and now I'll just do this big roof up here. I just want to do the front part first, just so I can see how it looks, because I'm really excited to see how this looks with the granite, the deep slate. Let's have a look at that. Oh yeah, that is looking very nice. It kind of looks just like bricks. Now we have 34 left. I don't think that's going to be anywhere near enough. It was pretty close. We're only missing this little bit there. So let's quickly craft that up. Boom. And that should be plenty to finish up this roof here. Now, the next thing that I need to do is figure out where these windows are going to go, because that's going to be the next thing that makes this thing a lot more cozy. So first of all, I need to grab up some stone and of course some cherry logs and just craft these into some stairs and just add these in kind of at the front. I know for sure there's going to be 2 windows here. I mean, that's obvious. Come on, where else are we going to put the windows, mate? Now, I do actually need to get myself some stone bricks. Okay, 5 will have to do. I'm going to place these on the bottom just to have that little bit of extra depth. And I do need to fill this one in too. I don't know why I haven't filled this in yet. Just like that with a stair like that. Oh my god, that's beautiful, mate. Don't worry, I will be adding andesite to this as well. Now, I know there's a staircase here, so I might have to just put a window here, just like that. And then once again, there's a staircase here, so there will be a window right here instead. Just like that, mate. Now, I do want to put a fireplace on this wall here, and I'm thinking of adding like a staircase here. So we'll leave this empty for now, and there's nowhere else to really put windows on the bottom floor. So the next thing we need to do is go upstairs and add the windows in here. So for sure there'll be 2 windows here. So I'll just remove these and place in some cherry stairs, just like we did on the bottom floor, just like that. And there's going to be a fireplace here. So there'll have to be windows here instead, like that. And then this one too. And then we might as well put 2 windows here as well, because there's not many. We haven't got a huge amount of windows. And it's just an easy way to add depth to the house. So now if we have a look at that, you can see obviously we've got the windows in. That's already changing it so much. I mean, just look at this, guys. It's insane. And we're not even close to being done. Now, in order to add the windows, I do want to use some waxed copper trapdoors, but I think I need to find my beehives, my bee nests, sorry. Now I'm going to place these just up here for now, because I haven't really got anywhere else to put them. Are there bees in here? Or no? I really hope there is, because if there's not, that's going to be so sad. But I do need to go grab some flowers. I don't know why I didn't grab them while I was here. And also a pair of shears. Oh, and some fireplaces too. So let me grab that now while we're here. So we got the shears, we got the campfires, and I'll grab these flowers and we'll go over there and place in some flowers. And I hope that's pretty much all I need to do, because I have absolutely no idea. Okay, come pollinate these flowers, my friends. Please put some campfires in there. Okay, we at least got 3 honeycomb. I don't know how to tell if there's bees in there. If I'm listening to it, it kind of sounds like there's bees. It's like buzzing a little bit. Add some more flowers around. Okay, so I did some quick research. It is raining right now. Obviously, I have the rain turned off because it makes the game look horrible, but apparently bees go to their hive when it rains. So that could be why. I'm pretty sure there's bees in there. So I guess we just gotta wait. We do have 5 honeycomb though. So, oh, whoa, what is this guy doing in here? What on earth? Bro, that's not your house. What's going on, mate? Get out of here. Bro just jump scared me on my days. He could have just taken a massive hole out of this area. Let's definitely light this up, because I do not want that happening again. That guy is definitely not welcome in here. Anyway, let me go ahead and craft up some... Oh, we've got some. So allegedly, I got the honeycomb. I should be able to click that. Yes. So now that shouldn't change, I would presume. So let me go ahead and place these in and hopefully none of them weather. I don't know how quickly they weather, but we have a ton of copper. So if they do, it's not really the end of the world. I guess I can just very easily create some more, but I really want to see how this is going to look because I've never used copper trapdoors as windows because it kind of just looks like a window with those fancy frames around it. And if you look at that from the outside using the stairs, it like just adds that little bit of extra depth because it's on the rear of the block rather than in the middle like glass panes are. And yeah, I think that looks so nice. Come on guys, you have to admit that looks pretty hectic. So let me remove this scaffolding. Now the next thing I want to do is start detailing this place. And I think I want to move from one side and move across the whole thing, tackling each section one by one. So starting on this, the right hand side, the further at most would be this bit here. Do I have any andesite? That's the first question I have to ask. Yes, I do. All my days. That's beautiful, mate. So let me go ahead and replace a couple of these with some andesite just to get that little bit of texture in here. Gonna grab some cracked stone bricks as well because I need to change the bottom here. Plain stone brick looks a bit plain Jane. Next up, I'm going to use some normal stone bricks to kind of section off like a area through here, just like this, maybe one block outside of the logs, and then same thing here, one block outside, just like this, that little kind of grassed off area there. And what I'm going to do in here is grab some podzol, going to grab some spruce logs and some coarse dirt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all place in some podzol as the kind of main block in here, just to make it look like it's muddy. Next, I'm going to place in some spruce logs, not too many spruce logs, just a couple. Then I'm going to strip them down to make them a light brown. Then I'm going to remove the rest of the grass and make it coarse dirt, just like that. I think that's pretty cool. Now to add a couple piles of things in there, I'm going to use some barrels. So I need some slabs for that. So 16 barrels should be enough. I'm going to create like a little pile of barrels, maybe here, just like that. Then I'll come over to my little wheat farm over here and I'm going to grab some wheat to create some hay bales. While we got the phantoms on us all my days, let me grab the bed. Boom, boom. See? That quick, guys. I think having a bed is a good idea. Anyway, now I'll create these hay bales. We got 15 and I'll chuck another pile just right here. Maybe out by one. And maybe just for a little bit of extra in there, I'll craft up a couple chests and I'll place them in amongst these kind of barrels and hay bales in here, just like this. I think that'll be nice. I'll craft up some stone bricks and some stone brick slabs and I'll mix them in amongst this kind of stone on the floor here. And then I'm going to grab some spruce trapdoors and on the bits that are only one block on the floor, I'm going to add some slabs on top of them, I guess, just like that. I think that's pretty nice, but I do need to get a lantern in there as well. Thankfully, we did craft up a huge amount of iron, or smelt up, I guess. So we should be good for lanterns for a while. We'll chuck it right there. I think that's pretty nice. So now this section is pretty much kind of done. Now it's time to move on to this part here. So we're going to work on this balcony, this front entrance, and the thing at the back. So I guess it makes the most amount of sense to start at the very back. So we're going to grab up some oak logs and some spruce stairs, and I guess I'll just create a staircase 2 blocks wide along the side here, reaching up to the very top, and then I guess some slabs. I'll extend this just like that and create a little pillar. Then every second block I'll have another pillar. Next, I'll throw up an upside down stair with a slab next to it, just like this. And then the top one should be here with the same thing. And for behind the stairs, I'm going to throw down some stone bricks along the bottom with stone above it. Very, very simple, but very nice. With a little bit of a mixture of andesite in there as well, just like that. And now for like a railing kind of thing, I want to do the same thing we did for the pier. I want to use lecterns because I really like how that looks. I'm going to grab some bookshelves, create a bunch of spruce slabs, and then turn them into lecterns like that. We got 34. I'm sure that should be close to enough. I'm also going to need to craft up a bunch of trapdoors as well. 32. Okay, that should be enough for now as well. So we'll go lecterns like this with an oak trapdoor on top and maybe a spruce trapdoor on the side to kind of cover the side up a little bit, just on those two. We can't really do that for this one. And then of course here as well, boom, boom. And I guess we'll do the same thing throughout the top here as well, just to keep it consistent, exactly like that. Now let's have a look at that. I think that's going to really make this look good. Yeah, I do like that. That looks pretty nice. I don't like how flat this is, so I'm going to add a sticky outy bit and I'll craft up up some stone buttons to stick on them, just to make them a little less flat. You can still walk up. If you go up, you don't bump your head. If you go down, you bump your head a little bit, but not really enough to be a problem. And I think that looks nice. I think that looks really cool. I do want to add some stairs like that though. That's nice. And then maybe that. Sure, we can like throw a pot or something on there. So now that's the top of the middle part done, the kind of balcony area, the staircase on the back. Now we just need to work on this front. And I don't want it to go too crazy here. I want to create some hanging signs, which is another item I've never built with, which I'm pretty sure I just need some chains for, which I just need iron, right? Wait, how do you make chains? Yeah. Okay, chains are pretty easy to make. Then how do we make hanging signs? Do we need a sign? Okay, I'm gonna need to go to Google for this one. Okay, allegedly you need stripped logs. So yeah, that is expensive. If I strip these and break them, we should be able to make hanging signs. I don't know how many you get though. 6. Okay, that's not horrible. That's not horrible at all. And I want to hang these. Can I hang them from here? Yeah, I can. Okay, beautiful. Just like this. Look at that. That looks so good. Oh man, I love that. Maybe I should use some in here as well for like a little ledge thing. Why not? Boom, boom. Look at that, guys. Oh my days. So I do have some mossy stone bricks. Do I have any more crack? Ooh, hang on. Tough bricks. Will this look good with a mixture? Ooh, it's close. I think it's very close. I think it might suffice. It might be okay. Yeah, let's go with that. That's okay. I think that's kind of all we can really do to this front bit here though. I mean, maybe I could add some spruce trapdoors to these front logs. That might look okay, but I think honestly that's pretty good. I am certainly happy with that. That is looking really nice. So we've got this section done. We've got this section done. Now it's time to work on this section. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm thinking of putting a garden through here a little bit. So let's do that using stone bricks and some grass blocks and some flowering azaleas, sweet berries, rose bushes. Do we have bones in here? Surely we do. We don't. Okay, that's wild. But I'll grab up some trapdoors as well. Okay, we should have enough things to get it started. So let's just kind of go like that maybe. Or maybe here. Nope. I prefer this better. Like that. Okay. And then same thing we kind of did before using some stairs and slabs. And then the rest are going to be trapdoors. Then we'll raise this entire area up here by 1. Then add some flowering azaleas, some sweet berry bushes. We'll chuck in some rose bushes. And let's get some cornflowers in there too. Yes, that's going to look good. A little bit of blue. Maybe one here and one there. Now let me go and grab some bones. I know I've definitely got some over here. Okay, that'll do. And I'll just smack one there and there. I want it all to be filled. Maybe remove that tall grass, to be honest. That should be sweet. I think I like that. That's nice. Now I do actually kind of like that tough. We got cracked stone brick. We have mossy. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to use one mossy and one cracked stone brick for the texturing of this. Just like that. Beautiful, mate. Oh my days. This is coming together like so nice. I kind of like detailing like this, like going from one side through the other side and just detailing the entire build like in a straight line. I think it's really nice doing that. So I'm gonna fill the rest of this grass in here with some coarse dirt. You know, I might as well go up to here. We're gonna do that anyway, just like that. Okay, now time to tackle this part here. So I do love using dark oak fences. I do want to add that into this build as well. The question is, do we have any dark oak? Yes, we do. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna use the spruce to craft up fences, and then dark oak fences like that. Sorry, the spruce to craft up the sticks. I don't know why I said fences. I'm also going to get some spruce slabs, some spruce stairs, and some spruce trapdoors, and of course buttons. I think this will be the best way to detail this. So if I'm going to have to remove this here and add that in like that, and I'll do the same thing over here. Oh my days. Going to have to remove that temporarily. Add another cornflower there because it's empty. Why not? Then I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go stairs, then trapdoors, then slab. Is that okay? I think that's nice. I think that's a nice little trim. And then I can hang a lantern in there. We might as well craft up a couple lanterns, to be honest. 22 lanterns. Okay, that should get us through. So we'll hang one right there. Very, very nice. And to detail that top part, what I want to do, I want to add the dark oak fences in along here as well, just like we did before. Then I want to add in some like shutters, just like this on the outside. Maybe a button here and there, just like that. I do need to grab some of these bad boys right there because there's a hole in the roof. Let me fill that in quickly. Right there. Boom, boom. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Honestly, for the front, I think that's as good as we're gonna get. Like, I think that looks so good. Oh my days. Okay, so now I think we work on the back. We're gonna use polished granite for now, and I want to craft up a smoker, which I'm pretty sure is just, oh no, a blast furnace. Oh no, we'll use a smoker. Now, how do you craft a smoker again? Oh my days. Okay, I just need logs. So we'll craft up a smoker. We'll go around to the other side real quick, and right in the middle, I want to have a smoker here with kind of like a fireplace heading all the way up the top, and then kind of sticking out of the roof a little bit. Maybe here. Does that add up? No, it has to be here. My bad. Oh, I've forgotten the fireplace. Let me grab that. So I'll throw the fireplace right on top. Can I walk on this? No. And then I'll place in some trapdoors all the way around. Just like that. Beautiful. Okay, I am going to texture this, replacing a lot of it with brick, and of course add in some stairs, but I need to find clay. Need my fortune shovel, and thankfully there's clay right here. So let's go ahead and dig this stuff up. I don't know how much I need. I'm going to grab more than I definitely need because I don't want to be coming back. Is there more? Don't tell me that was it. Oh, no, I see more. Okay, hopefully this will be a good, nice, big vein of clay. Oh, and it does. It looks like it's a big one. Oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. This should be plenty of clay. All right, now let's go and set up a quick furnace so we can start smelting these into bricks. We'll just chuck it in here. How quick do these smelt? Oh, they're going to take a while. So I'm going to set up another 2 furnaces. It's a lot of coal, I know, but we kind of need it. While that's cooking though, I'm going to go ahead and create another roof on the back using a very similar design that we've already used. So we'll go 3 out, then place in walls and fences like that, just with a very simple roof that we've done previously on this build already. And it will head up and we'll move that just to the wall there. We'll add in our mix exactly like this. And we'll section it off like we have before using this kind of design here. Exactly the same. Boom. And then add in a little bit of these and trapdoors. Then we'll use the same floor that we use in here. So let me grab all those things and we'll add them all in just mixed up just like that. Beautiful. Now we just need the bricks and that's going to look really nice. I'm also going to throw in our little fences here. Should I add them here too? It's a little bit tight, but I feel like it's necessary. And we'll put it here and then can we get it here? Yeah, we will. That'll be fine. I'll just expand that by 1 just so it adds up a little bit, just so it meets up. And I think that is looking really nice. Should I also add them in the bottom? I think I should, just like that. Okay, that'll be fine. I like that. I guess I could add a window in there just to make it less empty. So it should be right here. Beautiful. Okay. Now finally, I'm going to add in the trapdoor shutters onto that window as well on the right hand side. Boom. And let's check on our bricks. Let's make sure that we get this section done before we move on. Okay, we got a ton of bricks. Look at that. So I'll craft up some stairs, couple walls, and now I should be able to just go ahead and replace some of these. Just get a bit of texture in here going because I don't want the granite to be the main block. I want the bricks to be the main block just because we've already used so much granite and it's not very red. It's very flat. I'll add a brick here and I'll change this one to a brick as well. Now let me grab some scaffolding so I can quickly get to the roof. I'm also going to grab these here because I'm going to need them. I'm actually also going to need some more of these trapdoors. So I'll grab them. Couple more stairs. Oh, I'm going to need another 2 copper trapdoors as well. Now we should be able to finish this part here. So if I first of all go here and add these cherry logs and planks just to create a little window there, and then I continue up to the roof and replace a lot of these with the bricks. And I want to have a brick on top. So can I jump? Yes, I can. There we go. Look at that, guys. Those bricks really changed that. I like that a lot. Okay, that's nice. That's the first chimney we've made, I think. So now this back wall's done. This front wall's done. The roof for this section's done. I just need to figure out this entrance in here. So I'll grab the stuff we usually use. Maybe some buttons as well. Oh, we've already got them in our inventory. Oh my days. Corner these off with the cherry stairs. Add in the same design we used before. Just like that. Maybe add a trapdoor here. Oak trapdoor there. Some buttons. Boom. Okay. Maybe some copper trapdoors like this too, since we have them. That's nice. Yes. Oh more days. Oak trapdoor there. Sure. Okay. And to finish it off, lantern. Look at that. Oh my days. We've got the back done. All this section done. Now we just need to focus on this part here. But before we do that, let's check on our bees. Oh, we do have bees. Yes. Oh, I do have my shears. I thought I didn't have them. Have we got anything ready? Is this one ready? Yes, it is. This one's not quite ready yet, but I think one more bee and it should be ready. Come on, guys. Yes or no? Okay. I guess they don't want to make any more honey. That's fine. I got 3, so I can... Oh no, they have already started changing. That is no good at all. Not good at all. So what I'm going to do, obviously have to craft up some new ones, but I'm going to remove all the ones that aren't waxed So I guess I'll wax these two, maybe that one, and I'll just remove the rest, just so they don't change. It is a little annoying, but whatever. There's not much we can really do about it. I'm not exactly a bee expert just yet, so we're very limited on how quickly we can do that. So now we'll work on this part here. And I guess just like we have before, we'll work from the back. So the back of this one's going to be pretty simple. Gonna grab up some flowering azaleas, and I will need to craft up a bunch of trapdoors once again. I feel like we're just making trapdoors this whole time, and I think that should be sufficient. Oh, hold on. I also need the dark oak fences. And let's just leave out this way because I'm lazy, and we'll go boom, 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 boom. Connect these together. Exact same design that we've used pretty much the whole time. We got to keep it consistent. Hanging lantern in the middle, button. Oh, you know what I've forgotten? Oh, I can't fit through there. I need to add in the andesite as well. I'm just going to do that to all the walls while we've got it, because we might as well. And I'll do this one as well, and then that's done. Well, hold on. This is supposed to be a stereo. There we go. I'm going to add a hanging bush. Well, not a hanging bush, I guess just a bush like this, and some shutters. And those signs we made by accident that we didn't really need, I guess I can put them on the side of these leaves there. So it's not crazy, it's very, very simple, but I think it's nice. So now I'm going to head up to this next section, add in some shutters. Maybe I'll add in some shutters that are kind of like open like this. Oh, I didn't think this through, did I? Okay, there we go. Add in the dark oak fences, and then I think I'll add in a couple buttons. I don't know why. I'm just enjoying adding the buttons in. I think it just adds a little bit of weirdness to it. And that's that back section done. Now we'll move over to this side, and I guess we'll do the exact same thing we kind of did, because I don't really know what else to do. Oh no, I forgot to remove these ones too. That's so annoying. Just need to fill this roof in a little bit on both sides, just like that. And oh, look at this. Obviously, once we get the shutters in and the copper trapdoors, that's going to look finished. I'm really liking this, guys. This is turning out very nice. So I'll just add the shutters in here, and then obviously once we have enough honey, speaking of honey, let's go check. Obviously then I'll be able to add those copper bits in. They're still not making honey. What's going on? Is this guy just glitching out? Oh my days, he disappeared. Maybe I need to turn my simulation distance up. Maybe we're just a little bit too far away. But look at this house. It is coming together so nice. Now for this top front part, I don't really know what to do, so I'm just gonna add in a bunch of trapdoors, add this special bit in like we usually do, and that's pretty much all I think I can do. Maybe I'll add some wood in here. Oop, nope. Boom. Some buttons, and then a spruce trapdoor, I guess. Might as well add a lantern. Okay, and now we can work on this little bit here. Little shop. So we'll add in a little kind of counter, I guess, and some shelves at the back. Oh, I should fill in the roof a little bit. And using some of the bricks, I can go ahead and craft up some pots with some flowers. Maybe I'll use this shroom light that we randomly got. I want to use a checkered oak floor. So we'll grab up some oak logs, maybe a spruce sapling for one of the pots. We'll put a pot here with a flower, pot there with a sapling, maybe a shroom light at the back there with a trapdoor on the side maybe, and the front to kind of look like a box of something, I guess. I'll add a sign there, maybe a copper grate there, I guess. I don't really know. A button, and then for the floor, I'm going to remove all the grass. I'm going to add in the oak logs in this checkered pattern. I love this checkered pattern. I think it looks so good. I love using it all the time. Obviously stripped logs. Look at that. That is beautiful. How did I forget a barrel? We need to add a barrel in there too. Oh, maybe a chest. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So we'll go a barrel and then a chest. Beautiful. Okay, that's nice. I don't love how open this is, so let's go like this. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's nice. No, hold on. Let me remove these on the corners. Dude, how do I not have spruce stairs on me? What on earth? Have I used all of them? Oh my goodness. So we'll go spruce stairs in the corner like that. Yeah, that's okay. I think that's nice. Maybe... Oh, I can't add oak fences there. That's unfortunate. Okay, I think that's nice. That's a nice little shop there. Look at that. Oh my goodness, guys. This is turning out so fantastic. Should I add fences here? No, I shouldn't. I definitely shouldn't do that. Oh, we forgot this front entrance here. How have I forgotten that? Oh my days. I think I do want to keep this... Oh my goodness. I do want to kind of keep this open a little bit. So I think I might use some stone brick walls. I wish I could use stone walls, but that doesn't exist. So something like that, and maybe a stone brick slab across the top, just to make it a little bit smaller like that. And then I'll throw in some andesite as well. Boom. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. I think for the most part, this is looking almost done. Hold on. There's supposed to be fences there. I think we're pretty much good on this. Obviously, we do need to get the copper trapdoors. So let me grab some more fireworks so I can fly over there and then fly back. Fingers crossed we got some honey. Yes, here we we go. We got another 3. What about this one? Why is this one not making any? Maybe this one has no bees. Oh my goodness. How do we breed bees? Do we just give them flowers? Do you guys want some flowers? Come out. Please. I need more bees. Do you guys want flowers or not? Come on. Man, I have no idea how these bees work. Honestly, I don't think they are working. Oh, hold on. I just heard a pop as I was about to fly away. You take me flowers. Do you want flowers? Are you going to make more babies? Oh, look at that. They make babies if you give them flowers. There's a baby bee. That is so cute. What on earth? Do you want a flower? Yeah, have some flowers. That is adorable. Oh my days. Okay, now you guys can make more honey. Hurry up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got 6 honeycomb. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now we can start adding in these trapdoors because they aren't going to disintegrate on us. Well, weather, I guess. Boom, boom. And this one will be the final one for the floor, and then it's done. The bottom floor is done, at least, I should say. So now we'll start working on these ones. That is such a weird sound. Boom. Okay, look at that. This is coming along so nicely, guys. I'm so happy with how this looks. What? Like, this is crazy. I think maybe it's a little bit weird here. This is kind of the only section I'm not 100% fond about. Now we can start working on the surrounding. And if you guys have been here for long enough, you know that's my favorite part. So I'm going to grab up some coarse dirt, some regular dirt, some podzol, and I'm going to place the podzol kind of around the edges a little bit, just very sparingly, because I don't want it to be the main thing in here. And then I'm going to replace some of this. Oh my days. I'm going to replace some of this coarse dirt with just regular dirt, just to add a little bit of a very slight difference in the texture. Now I'm hoping podzol doesn't grow. I'm going to have to cover this grass. It's very, very subtle, but you can definitely see the difference between the regular dirt and the coarse dirt. It is very, very subtle, but it's there. So the only way to make it less subtle is to find ourselves some rooted dirt. And the only way to get that is through azalea trees, which I should have in here somewhere. Okay, I don't have in there. What about in here? Oh, we do have bone meal, which I do need. Okay, but we don't. I'm going to have to go find some. I guess there's nothing illegal with me just borrowing this one here. I'll promise I'll bring it back if I remember. Now we'll come over to our bee farm and... oh, I do have rooted dirt here already. Let's grab this. Beautiful. You can see this isn't the first time I've done this. And I might as well collect some of these flowering azalea leaves, and obviously the rooted dirt spawns beneath the azalea tree, so let's just go ahead and farm these up. Okay, we only got 2 from that, so I'm gonna farm a bunch of these until I have enough rooted dirt, and I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, I obviously harvested up this honeycomb, and we've got a bunch of rooted dirt here now, so we can go ahead and collect all of this up. Now let's go ahead and make sure we replace that flowering azalea bush that I stole allegedly, and we can go ahead and put in some more of this. We can go ahead and add in, once again, some more copper trapdoors. There we go. We're getting closer to having it all filled in, but we've got 30 rooted dirt, so I can go ahead and replace some of this coarse dirt with rooted dirt, which has a much different look than the other 2 types of dirt that we've already got in here. I just wish there was an easier way to get rooted dirt, because it looks so nice when mixed in with coarse dirt and podzol and regular dirt. There we go. Look at that. That adds such a nice kind of texture. I really like the look of this road here. So I'm going to add in a pile of barrels just here, like that. Maybe one at the back as well. Then I'm going to start working on getting these walls done, because right now they're a little bit funky. Oh my goodness, guys, have a look at this. Does this not just look so nice? This is supposed to be just a nice little fishing pier. We got this huge fishing house and this fishing pier here. Oh man, this is turning out so good. So to finish off the area, I added in some paths connecting the build to the surrounding world, and then finished off the stone walls against the water. I then made my way to the back stone walls, split into 2 levels of land, and added in all of the missing details to finish it off. I then began working on adding in all of the farms, leaves, little paths, fences, and other decorations to bring the entire area to life. I really love how much this amplified this area and really made it feel super cozy. And ladies and gentlemen, now all the area around is filled in and looking very, very nice. So of course, if we start on the dock here, we move towards the house. The house is looking absolutely beautiful. It is completely detailed from the right hand side all the way to the left hand side. Over to the right, I've added in a couple wheat farms, which will of course connect to these farms over here once we expand further over this way. There's a nice little path path to connect you to this staircase over here, as well as a path leading towards the back of the house, which has the little fireplace. Moving back towards the front, the path extends towards where the lighthouse is, with some sweet berry farms on the right hand side and a smaller one on the left hand side. I've added in a couple trees throughout, and of course another little small dock in this area here just to fill in the space a little bit. And of course I've gone crazy with the leaves, bone meal and flowers as well. I also added in some cherry saplings with a piece of string on top to stop them from growing, and I think they look nice as kind of like little flowers, but I'm very happy with how this little space here turned out. But there's one final thing we need to do to really complete this build and make it come to life, and that would be adding in some boats. So I'm going to create up 2 spruce boats, and I'm curious if there's such thing as a cherry boat. Yes, there is. Look at that. So we have 3 boats to add in. I want to start by adding a single boat at the very end here, just a nice little spruce boat, just in case we want to jump in and get out of here. I also want to add a nice little spruce boat here, as well as a cherry boat kind of out here somewhere, maybe in the middle of this little cove here. I think that'll be pretty nice. Just there, that'll be fine. Now if we have a look at that, it doesn't add a huge amount of detail, just 3 small boats, I guess, until I can kind of come up with some better boat designs, because my boat skills are very bad. So we're gonna have to come up with some better designs for some real boats to add into this little area here. But guys, this place has been absolutely transformed and it looks incredible, not only with the lighthouse here, but also this huge fishing house and fishing pier just off the edge of the water. We also fixed up the land underneath the water to make it look a little better, because if you remember, it was pretty bad. But it's nice to finally see this place get a little bit more life sprinkled in, because it was pretty boring before. Of course, we just had the farming village over here, which had nothing in between itself and the rest of the build over here. But as we fly away, we can now see that this place is getting absolutely filled with love. So ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, because if you're still here right now, it means you probably enjoyed it. So if you want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you are reminded every time we upload. But as always, I appreciate you so much for being here all the way to the end. It helps out the channel more than you can imagine, and I'm so grateful for that. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.